Welcome, everyone. Candid with Candy is back again this week with a story you do not want to miss. If this is your first time, I'm Candy, your host for the show. When you feel like you're down in the dumps, or you feel that life in general is unfair, I'm sure your approach to whatever is troubling you will change as soon as you watch my next guest talk about how she pushed herself to become her best self and always looked at the positive side of life in spite of the worst imaginable accident that literally ripped her family apart. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the bravest, most tenacious, and solid women, Jacinta Colney. Please welcome her. Hi, Jacinta. Thank you so much for coming to my show.
Hello, Candy. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, I know.
And I think I'm very privileged to be a part of your show.
Oh,
Oh,
you making time for this show is highly appreciated. I wanted to let you know.
I cannot say no to this.
All right. So, for the audience to kind of know who you are, if you can just quickly begin with an introduction.
Definitely. Currently, I'm residing in Lunglei district in Mizoram, and I am working as a personal assistant to one of the MLAs here in Mizoram.
All right. Thank you so much for again. And sometime in 1991, something terrible happened to the family. So, if we could begin with that.
I mean, every time I have to talk about this, I get pretty intense. My dad and mom, when we were in Dimapur, we were going to school. And so in the year 1991, my mom and dad, they met with an accident, a plane crash accident to be precise. We were just kids, I was 8 years old. When we first heard the news, we actually did not believe it. And can you imagine on the same day? I mean, it was on the 16th, so 15th we heard the news. I mean, it was all over the news. And we were the one actually translating the news to my grandmother. So we were telling her, there was a plane crash in Manipur, and this flight was from Kolkata, and we were just telling her that. And so the next day, it was a dancing competition in our school. And my sister and I, we participated in the dance competition. And we danced, and we even got first and second prizes. But when we went home, there were like many, many, many people in the house. It was chaos. And they haven't told the news to my grandmother yet. And we were like, what is going on? Why is everybody here? People were there, and we asked them, and they just couldn't blur it out because we were so lost. We didn't know what was going on. And at the end, there was this old lady who held my grandmother and told her, we think your daughter and your son in law might have died in a plane crash. My grandmother, she just, she got unconscious. And my sister was there. She was like, no, no, that couldn't be true because show me the newspaper. So we read the newspaper, and there it was, lo and behold, Mr. and Mrs. William Colney, among the people who passed away in that crash. And my sister was still adamant about it. She said, no, this cannot be. There are many other William Colneys here in Dimapur. Even my sister, she couldn't take it. She was like, no, this cannot happen. And I was there. I remember I didn't know how to react. I was the one who went to the airport along with my uncles and everyone. I was the one who went to I couldn't cry. So we went to the airport, and they started announcing Mr. and Mrs. William Colney. There were many people who died from Dimapur. So at the end, they pushed out my mom and dad together, and that was the only moment I cried like crazy, knowing that, okay, this is for real. I don't have parents anymore. You know, that moment was like, even when I talk about it now, I can still feel the pain that I felt at that moment. So that was it, and life was never the same again.
Yeah. So tell me, did you not know that your parents were coming? Because, you know, you said that it was all over the news when it happened.
Can you imagine? They wanted to surprise us. Later on, Ujjwal Miliana, the sports director back in those days, he was a pilot. He told me that he met my family, my mom and dad, and they told him they wanted to surprise us. They didn't want to tell him that they were coming home. They were away for more than a month. That was not a good surprise at all for us.
So the surprise turned into despair
Yes,
and shock
it's
and
shocking.
pain. Oh my God. It just, you can't get over such things, right?
I'm not saying that every day I feel sad, but there are times when I would really, really wish that they were here. I mean, yes, but we are lucky because my grandmother, she is the rock. She was the rock for us. She was everything. We were lucky to have her. So though we didn't have our parents, she was an army who
Absolutely.
took
And
care of us.
I definitely want to spend a couple of minutes on, how your grandmother helped you through that journey. Before that, when
Mhm.
was the last time you spoke to your parents? They were away for 1 month.
Yes. So they left and yeah, things were normal. We went to school, came back, my grandmother was there, you know. They called us, those days even calling each other was kind of difficult. So there was no cell phone at those time. So they gave us a call stating that they miss us, they will be back home soon. Because we were very, like very, very happy family. We used to sing together, during the Christmas especially. My dad, he used love to play guitar, and my mom, she used to sing like really well. So we used to have a good family time.
I know it's really late, but my deep felt condolences, and I'm really sorry to hear about this. And it takes a lot of courage to talk about, such a personal experience in a platform like this. So thank you for showing so much of courage, Jacinta. And I know that a lot of people who have gone through maybe not similar situations, but a lot of people, it's a world where we lose each other. We lose
Yes.
parents, we lose children, we lose siblings and spouses, etc.
This is one thing, death is something which we can never get over,
Yeah.
you know.
So but you and your siblings turned out really well. So I'm sure they're in heaven, smiling down at all the three of you and just being really proud of who you've become.
Hopefully, I think so too. I mean, I hope they're watching us every day, making sure that we don't take the wrong path.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
uh,
So before
mm,
we get into your grandmother, you, your sister and brother, just briefly what they're doing right now.
yes, my eldest sister, she's an architect, and my younger brother, we were Roman Catholic. So my younger brother, he's a priest. He's an ordained priest now.
Okay, okay, that's wonderful. Like I said, all three of you, grew up to be really great and important people. So thank you for sharing that really painful part of your life. And now let's move on to your grandmother because she's the rock of the family. But
Oh yes, she
yeah,
is.
sorry,
she.
was I know she passed away too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I always think that she's always here. I mean, she's with us. That's what I always think. Say she was the rock. You know, she was not like educated lady. My mom was the only daughter she had, and yeah, her daughter, my mom left her,
her
and
only
she was
child, was she the
her
only
own
child?
child.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
so she had to take care of us. And I remember, I mean, we went to school. We would pray every day, saying our rosaries. And one day, my sister and I, we got my grandmother. She was in the room crying and praying. She was saying things like, Lord, help me understand my grandchildren. Help me take care of them so that, they don't take the wrong path. Make me, make me courageous. Make me strong so that I could take care of them. That's how she was praying. And then maybe she realized that we were kind of like listening to her.
Mm.
She just turned to our side and said, Hey, what are you guys are doing? And we're like, Granny, are you crying? She's like, No, why should I cry? Come, let's have dinner. So she would never, ever cry in front of us. She was that strong. And yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for my grandmother, I don't think we would be where we are right now, all the three of us. So, and my grandmother, she passed away last year. And it it really hurts. It really hurts because, you know, until the time she passed away, she was lying there on her bed. And I held her hand and I said, Granny, don't worry. You can go. You can go and rest because you don't have to worry about any of us. My sister, she's in a great place. I am doing good. And my younger brother has become a priest just the way you wanted it. You can leave us and rest in peace. Don't worry about us. And Granny, if you can understand what I say, just nod. She could not speak anymore, you know. So she just looked at me and then she nodded. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, she just, peacefully she passed away. And that was it. She's gone. My sister and I and my younger brother, we are all matured.
Right.
We're all grown up, but we cried like babies that day. Um, I mean, we get to experience death, every one of us, but sometimes I ask God, why us? Why? Why do you have to test me all the time? But then we can't say no to his ways, right?
Right. 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 No, I hear you. It's not easy. I lost my grandfather too, and he was pretty much the person who, looked out for me. He was more like a father to me.
Mm.
So you were describing what you did. That it just took me back to that place, and he couldn't recognize us by the time he passed away. He was 85, and you're right. You just don't get over such things, and the only way that I found I could deal with it is to really celebrate the life that he had, and the funny incidents and the things that he's taught us. So I think that's the only way, right, to keep the memory alive.
Yes, I mean, I keep joke. I am like the big clown of the family, so I will be the one joking about, how my grandmother did some funny things, and we would all laugh together. And my sister would be like, Jacinta, you are so mean. Why do you keep doing that? But I'm like, come on, let's have, like we don't have to be sad all the time.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
in a better place,
yeah.
so I know she'll be laughing right now as we are, saying all these jokes about her.
No, exactly, and I think that's the right spirit, right? Like that's just the right way to take it forward. But kudos to your strength and all that you've gone through.
I don't want to be the one sitting in the corner and crying and pitying myself.
Yeah.
I would rather, say, hey, you know what? Everybody has gone through tough times. This is one of those. So I just cannot give up on life. I just cannot give up on being a mom. I just cannot give up on being the sister, the friend, the mom. So life goes on no matter what.
And I'm so proud of that choice that you're making, because that's a choice that we have to get up every morning and make. It doesn't come naturally to someone. And the route of self pity is the much easier route. And a
Yes.
lot of people do that, and it does nothing but harm, right? So just picking up yourself and going on with life, if that is the option that one takes, then there's always victory. And I can see that in your life too. So wonderful. Just wonderful. So Jacinta, one more thing.
Mhm.
Besides your grandmother, what you had also told me earlier was that your sister was somebody who almost became like, a mother, because she didn't have any other choice, right? With both your parents
Yes.
gone. So if you could give us a little glimpse of that.
I'm almost 40 and she still thinks that she's my mom. Okay. Well, my sister, what can I say about her? I love her. Um, she was the one who told us, I mean, he called me, my brother, with three of us were there, and she said, you know what? There are many people whose parents have passed away and they have ended up being a drug addict or, had a loose character. We should not be in such a position wherein mom and dad are watching us. They should not feel bad. We should make them proud. We should study hard. We should work hard. That's what my sister used to tell us. And she was everything for us. And as I have already mentioned, she's she still thinks that she's our mom. She'd be like, Jacinta, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm like, sis, I'm almost 40. You cannot order me around. You know, I have a kid who is like much, much older than your daughters.
I feel her because I'm also the eldest of four siblings, and
Okay.
yeah, so they're all like,
I guess it happens that way.
Ukan is going to ask me something. Okay, she's going to call me now.
Mm.
they feel like they're so answerable for actions, especially when they're not really proud of something. They get really scared of me.
Tell me about it. My sister, she used to beat me with a stick. She is much shorter than me, in height. And then she'll be saying this, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Then one night I remember she punished me. I was out. I went out for maybe too long. Uh, so when I came back home, she was angry. She was on fire. Just like, Jacinta, where did you go? I said, I went out with my friends. Is this the time to come back?
Mm.
Change your clothes and stand in the veranda for 10 minutes.
How old were you?
I was 25.
Oh,
But I did it, like I think she's more happy that way.
yeah. That's kind of funny and sweet
Oh,
too.
I know. She's she's full of character.
She's going to be laughing, while watching this. She's going to be reminiscing all the good times and, the old days. Okay, so fast forward to today. I know that I think you became a soft skills and a communications coach when you were in Bangalore,
Yes,
and you have quite a story there too.
yes,
If you could just give us a little glimpse of your life in Bangalore, and the initial struggles and why you did what you're doing today, that would be great.
yes. So after my divorce from my first marriage, I told my sister I don't want to be here in Mizoram. And lucky for
Sorry,
me,
sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
yes,
So you were earlier living in Kohima. After your parents passed away, as a family, you decided to move back to Mizoram.
we were in Dimapur.
I'm sorry, in
Dimapur.
Dimapur.
Yeah.
Okay. So from Dimapur, you decided to move back to Mizoram. And did you also do your school there? Did you continue your school in?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, we did. We were in Colosip, so we were going to St. John's
okay.
and then St. Maria and then St. John's.
Got it. Got it.
And
Yeah, we weren't linking that because the story started off with Dimapur, and then suddenly we are like from Mizoram.
yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
lucky for me, AOL, came to Mizoram to hire, to recruit. So I
Oh.
was a part of that. And there were like 300 odd people who came for the interview, and they selected seven of us. And I was very excited, but at the same time very sad because I had to leave my daughter in Mizoram and I had to go all by myself. That was the first thing which, triggered me. But I was like, I should be in a position. I had my priorities straight, you know. I want my daughter to be proud of me. That was my first priority. I have to make it a point that I become somebody and be able to take care of my daughter. I was selected to work in a call center. That's all I knew. And
Which year was this, Jacinta?
it was in the year 2004. And there's a funny encounter. I mean, there's a funny thing which I wanted to mention. Was like there was this American culture which was going on, which we were not aware of. So they used to call us like, "Hey, sweetie," "Hey, honey," and we'd be like, "Oh my God, he's hitting on me. Why is he calling me like that?" Not knowing that, that was something which was like how people talk to each other.
Yeah. Cute. That's
And
I hear you. I also joined the industry in 2003, and everything
oh,
was new, right? Call
yes,
sector or the BPO sector. I think I was telling you the other day when they said, "Oh, you're going to have your voice training." I was like, "Are we going to sing?"
how will you have the voice training?
Yeah, what is a voice training? Good old days.
I know, I know. So yeah, I mean, we went through the training, and I want to mention this. Nicole, I met her in AOL. I didn't know that she was Mizo, but her aura, her attitude, the way she spoke, the way she made us feel, her positive vibe, you know, I was like, oh my God, this is somebody that, I want to be like. So yeah, I mean, she was one of my inspiration to become a soft skills and communication trainer. And on top of that, my trainer, Usum, I just love her attitude. The moment she walks into the classroom, she'd be like, boy, oh boy, isn't this a hot day? The way she spoke, to me, it was like, I'm watching a movie. How people talk in movies. We have never heard those kind of English. And I, I was like in a la la land. Like I'm dreaming. The way she spoke was so sweet. The way she communicated with us, the way she made us feel, the way she, tried to make us understand. It was not like the normal, lecturer trying to tell you something. That was the part which I loved, you know. So I remember Kusum asking me, I mean, not just me, everyone in the classroom, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? I mean, that's the question they always ask. I was not confident enough to tell her that I want to be like her. But then something made me say it, and I said, Kusum, you know what? But I was like shy and timid Jacinta back then. Kusum, you know what? I want to be a soft skills and communication trainer like you. And she said, hey, that's a very good thing. I do. I didn't know if I have the skills or not, but she was the one who told me that I had it. So that gave me confidence, that boosted my confidence. And confidence, again, that was something new, which we never heard of, you know, Eh, especially in the Mizo society. People are more shy, timid. Those are the people always say, oh, she's a nice girl, she's a timid girl. People won't say, oh, she's a confident girl. They would rather say, we didn't know that confidence is something to be applauded for.
Or to
We
celebrate,
always,
right?
yes, Bangalore was a turning point for me for learning everything that I know about life, that I know about how to manage time, how to manage situations. I think I should say thank you to Bangalore
You
for
touched
making me the person I am right now.
right, and you touched upon two very important things, right? One is the role of, what do you want to call it, right? A leader, a mentor, a guide, a
Yes,
mentor. Um, Inciting that confidence in someone goes such a long way, right? So does a a negative impact on somebody, you know. So had
Yes.
somebody back then, Jacinta, told you, so if Kusum was somebody else and she said, Jacinta, have you gone crazy? You're not going to make
Yeah.
it. Trust
Yes.
me, that
Yes. Yes.
that would have remained with you, and probably you wouldn't have been who you are today, you know.
Exactly.
uh, so that is so important, and I think this is a learning for everybody who's watching as well. You know, just one word of positivity, right? You don't have to be flamboyant, and you don't have to, like, you know, really say big words to the person. Just letting the
Yeah.
person know that, you know what, hey, that's a great dream, of course you can do it, and that's enough, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
that's something that you
And
beautifully
that,
covered.
yes,
Mhm.
that is something which I've carried till today.
Another thing is, I don't think it's only the, you know, mesos. I think the Northeast in general,
The
kind of,
Northeast. Yeah.
we kind of think, tend to think that, you know, being shy, being timid, and somebody who's a girl who's really good with household chores is the good girl, you know, versus you know, somebody who's out there, somebody who's willing to speak up, becomes over smart or too loud, and hence they may not be good, you know. So
Yeah.
that is something that really needs to change. Obviously it's a very sensitive thing, but you know, just
Yeah. I mean, even you have experience. Sorry.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
you might have also experienced, when they get to know that you are from the Northeast, they'll be like, "Oh, you are so cute. You are so shy." That's the way they see us, the shy and timid people from the Northeast. You know, oh, you have got the style. Come on, I'm beyond that. You know,
Guess what, I don't think anybody's done that to me, you know why? Because,
No,
you know why, because I've always been loud. So I was never cute. I don't think anybody called me cute, but I know what you're saying. I know
yeah,
exactly what you're saying. And that's a very, very you know, it's like all the Northeastern girls are stereotyped to be cute and pretty and whatever, right?
yeah. I
Right.
mean, I'm not that either. They have never called me. I mean, they are scared of me. Because one thing I can like speak in Hindi and give them back.
That is why you know, you eventually want to become a motivational speaker, right? So if we can talk a little bit about that aspect as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How do I begin? So I came back to Mizoram in the year 2015 because my younger brother was going to be ordained a priest. So I came back and my sister told me, you know what, Jacinta, it has been almost 13 years that you've been away from home. Why don't you settle down and, look for a job here? You'll be able to find a job. I said, okay, let's give it a try. So I got through Mahindra and Mahindra as the general manager. And after 2 months, I got a call. I mean, long story short, we were going to hire people. People came for interview. They were not ready for the interview. Their resumes were trumpets. Their resumes were one-liners, two-liners maximum. And when we were asking them questions, their mannerism while answering those questions, they have this, very
Casual.
easy-go-lucky life. Yeah, very casual approach to life, very casual approach to everything. So I told my boss, you know what? I want to give them training. So I trained them. And I remember my boss, he walked in and I said, "Hi, sir, you're looking really nice today." And he was like, "Really? Really? Oh, thank you so much." Then he called me later in his room and he said, "Jessica, you
Take
said
it
that
back.
in front of everyone." I'm like, "Yeah, what is wrong in complimenting each other? You look great and I appreciate it. No, it has been such a long time since anybody gave a compliment to me and I didn't know how to take it. I'm sorry."
Oh,
Then we had a team meeting the next day, and this was what he said: "From now on, going forward, we will learn to compliment each other. We will say good morning to each other and, say bye or whatever when it's time to leave." So he he was also learning, you know. And till day, even last year, he came to Lunglei. He was he still told me like, Jacinta, if you want to come back, would love to have you, you know. So it was really something, um, a good experience that I had. So
Yeah.
certain things like that, I have been talking to youngsters, and I don't know, I gel really well with teenagers. I like to talk to them and share my experiences, tell them how tough it was. But if you have the determination in you, you can still go ahead and fight. That's what I keep telling them. And there are so many people who actually got motivated. I remember, okay, going back to Bangalore, there was this girl. She came from village, one of the villages in Mizoram. I forgot the name. And she was in a PG. So the PG lady, the PG owner, she spoke to me, Jacinta, why don't you train her? She's looking for a job and she has no knowledge about it. So I trained this girl. And last week she called me and she told me like she's a team leader now. And she
Oh,
was so happy. Yeah, she was so happy. And so, there are people who came back to me and said thank you. I think those are much better than getting your reward in paychecks. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
that contentment that I felt, like if I can do this to this girl, if I can motivate her to reach her, you know, her destination, to reach that place where she feels like, okay, she has achieved something, maybe I can do the same for the others as well. So, yeah, I mean, I started going to the colleges and giving them talks on, having sessions on soft skills and communication, how important it is. Little things like how you shake hands, why your palm should not be sweaty when you shake hands, why you should not grab too hard when you shake hands. I mean, those are the little things which people miss out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then confidence is something which I really want to concentrate on, because when it comes to fashion and all those things, Northeast people, we are really good. I mean, no denying the fact. But when it comes to being confident, being able to step up, being able to say, if others can do it, why not me?
Right.
So the things I want to inculcate in the youth. Yes, I want to be one of the first woman motivational speaker from Mizoram.
I'm sure a few years from now, you'll hear back this tape, this recording, and you'll be like, oh my God, this was before I was a motivational speaker, and now I am.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure that we will have a fantastic female motivational speaker from Lunglei, and you will be known, across, especially with the youth, and that they will continue to look up to you, and you will motivate and instill a great sense of confidence in the youth of Mizoram. So I wish you the very best with that.
thank
And
you.
I also know that you have been writing. You write poetries and probably short stories, so that is something that is really interesting as well. I wish you the very best with that. So
Uh,
before
uh,
you
uh.
go, Jacinta, what message do you have for the viewers?
I do hope that somebody out there, whoever hears this, whoever listens to our conversation, should know that life is not about giving up. Life is all about fighting. Life is all about protecting the ones you love. Life is all about, trying to find the right answer. If you want to find the right answer, you will fight for it. I love to surround myself with positive thoughts. I love to surround myself with positive people. And talking to you, I can definitely feel that, you have that vibe in you where you make me feel comfortable as well talking about it. So I just hope that somebody out there is motivated to be what they want to be, no matter what they have gone through. God is always there to guide you if you are willing to work for it. That's my message.
Jacinta, again, thank you so much for this wonderful heart to heart conversation. I loved your little stories, and I'm sure that it will speak 1,000 words to all the people who've listened in today.
And thank you so much again for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Have a wonderful week. God bless. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Inspiration is an understatement. For Jacinta and her siblings, you guys have my highest respect just for being you. I am sure all the viewers would have to agree with me on this one. Guys, for more of such gripping stories, do like, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much for watching. See you again next week, same time, same day, same channel. Candid with Candy. Take care.